Hi, Ushers and Greeters. So this is a follow-up from the video that I sent before. I want to talk a little bit more practically about Easter. And many of you know that Easter and Christmas are two of the biggest attended dates for any church. A lot of times people who aren't involved in a faith community will still find time to get their family to a faith community of some kind. And Second Presbyterian Church is no exception. We see a high visitor spike on those particular days. And so I want to talk through just a few things that you can do as an usher and a greeter on Easter specifically to make that a really special day for people that attend for the first time. And the first thing that you can do is continue to be yourself because you are a friendly group, and that's one thing that people talk a lot about. But I have 5 things in particular that I want to talk about specifically that can be helpful for us as we go into ushering and greeting for Easter. So the first thing is smile. I was at a conference a couple weeks ago at Church of the Resurrection, and in their hospitality protocol, they say that every visitor that comes in should receive 4 smiles before they sit down. And that includes every person that they meet along the way who makes eye contact with them and gives them a personal experience smiling. And so as you work out, as you greet and as you say hello, don't forget that that's actually a really important part of this. So don't forget to smile. The second thing is time. I want you to think about taking time with people, and sometimes taking time is escorting people to the place where they need to go, whether that be the water fountain or the bathroom or finding a seat in. The neat thing about that is that buys you time. That gives you more than a moment with people where you can actually ask them a personal question, invite them in, have a little moment to make an emotional deposit with them. That matters. Take advantage of those opportunities to take time of just walking with people, because we're going to accomplish a lot in that period of time in making people feel welcome. The third thing that I want to talk about is the 3-10 rule. This is something that I've been reading a lot about when it comes to hospitality. The 3-10 rule says that at the end of every service, you should take 3 minutes to talk to anyone you don't know within 10 feet of you. 3 minutes, 10 feet of you. And there's something about that that adds to our culture of friendliness and warmth when it comes to that. So be on the lookout. After you get done greeting, you come sit in church. When the service is over, make it a point for 3 minutes to find someone in your immediate radius that you don't know and go up to them and say, "Hi, have we met yet? Is there anything that I can do to help? We're so glad that you're here." Number 4 is to get me contact information. And I have to brag on Barb Lotes. I saw her about 2 months ago. We were sitting in the back, and there was a couple sitting behind me that I hadn't had a chance to meet yet. They were clearly here for the first time, and Barb was going down the aisle picking up the connection cards after the service, and she noticed that they had not signed the connection card. And she said, "We're so glad that you're here. We would love to follow up with you. Is there any way that you could leave us your email address?" And the person who just really didn't know how the system had worked and kind of come in late or just for some reason hadn't put it down was more than happy to give her contact information. I was able to follow up with them. I specifically mentioned Barb in that interaction, and we were able to start a whole conversation. Contact information is gold. If you come up with somebody that you've met for the first time and you just say, "Listen, our church staff would love to follow up with you. Did you leave us your information, or would you be okay if we just sent you a thank you email? We won't add you to any list unless you want to be. This is just so that we can say hi and say thank you and answer any questions that you have." That's going to go a really long way. And so I'd really appreciate it if you could do that for us. And the last thing is be informed. I want you to know what's coming up. My hope is that people are regularly asking you what's happening. What is the next sermon going to be? Or what are some of the events coming up? Think about, for example, Easter. We have a Be the Church Challenge where we're going to go out and serve for 3 weeks between Easter and Mother's Day. That's something that they could easily plug into. That's really low pressure. Everybody feels better when they serve, and they'd love